sitting here like looking around in the bathroom. Okay, we need shampoo. I should probably do this. And Aaron's like, I gotta go to work. I'm like, I'm doing a survey of what I need to buy at the store, even though I'm just gonna go walk Aaron up to the platform, and I'm gonna walk down to the bakery, get my Costco, you come back and do a video. I'm not going shopping anytime soon. I can do this inventory later. But we have like 2.5 days, and I say 2.5 days because Rosa doesn't arrive till like, I don't call that late afternoon. To me, evening starts at like 5. Do you have a new key ring? Yeah, it's apparently taken its toll on me using my key and the key ring to pull the door that little extra closed recently, because I haven't really had... Yeah, okay. I mean, it's just a key ring. I could probably even go to the Slutel locker up there and pick one up. Yeah. Or I can try to... Okay. Aaron's telling me that he has a lot of guys from Brabant. We'll just go this way. They're tearing up the sidewalk in front of the... I was like, you know what? I've seen a lot of the guys that see they may be coming down here too. I got these little posts in. But Aaron was telling me about just now about like the Nord-Brabant kind of accent from when he goes down to Eindhoven, and they kind of all have. He says it's not art, it's acht, and because when I was like the Slutelmacher, and he's like the Slutelmacher, I'm like no, let's not talk about fat here. He's like no, macher. I'm like no, you had. I was correcting his pronunciation because it's not M-A-G-E-R, it's M-A-K-E-R. And that's when he explained that. And I was like, oh. I do have to say this about a lot of my teammates. The closer I talk about anything getting closer to Belgium, the more they're like, oh. Like, they're like, oh, where's the Taco Bell? And I was like, well, I know there's one in Breda and Tilburg and Eindhoven. They went, oh. And that could either be the fact that they're just that far away. Which, I mean, they're not physically that far away. I mean, if I really had a hankering and I had a car, I'd probably drive down there. But then I also but like on transit, Aaron, it's like $20 both way, each way. It's $40 both ways. I mean, thankfully, you know, his work expense, but yeah, I can't write anything off on mine until the end of year. He has much more of an active compensation, but then again, he has bosses, I don't. My bosses are, I just discount it from my taxes to the United States.
You lose some.
Yeah, which is like, I could, but I haven't really been paying attention this year. But it is stuff I think about in the future, that should I start making a significant amount of money and can start doing company deductions or all that stuff, business expenses, technically traveling around the Netherlands is a business expense.
Yeah.
At least the longer trips going to away games and all that jazz. When interacting, at least with like Dutch, not just like casually on the street. Casually on the street, dogs are much more friendly than this very similar position Dutch person. But the other way around, like at football practice, they're so much more friendlier than dogs. I'm not, okay, I literally am equating them to dogs, but it's that friendliness like, oh my God, I just want to say. So, whereas in the States, it seems like people in the streets are a lot more, hey, hi, how you doing? And they're a little bit more interactive on the streets. But when you're at a work position or like a football team, people are a little bit more like, no. For some reason, I know you didn't get that much at your work, but, well, maybe it's stream, right? People were a lot more like, oh, let's just keep to our business and do our stuff.
No. No, it's stream. Everyone wanted to not work.
That's true. And may have just been the people I was interacting with. It's not like I interacted with everybody. There were also kinds of very expressive people I tend to avoid. Sort of like my brain says, I'll interact you with at a time and a place, but at a call center, I'm not gonna sit there and watch you lick your hands and purr. I'm sorry. Let's do this at Elfia. I'm not gonna have you do this while you're answering tech support for Xbox. Time and a place, girl. Okay, so it is 3 o'clock, about the time I'm usually heading to the thing. I've gotten like a thing for huddle underway to take care of my. So things are on the shake up with huddle because I got moved up to coach so that I could do stats. Got like 90% of the stats done. I'm going to look at it later. Maurice said, "Oh, well, you got about 90% of them," and I was like, "Well, I'm going to go through and figure out what I missed." Like, I know there was a couple like tackles or maybe a second tackle. I didn't know it qualified as a second tackle. It was more or less I was playing a little cautious. Like there was like a sack that happened, and I was like, "Okay, good going, Dennis." But then, as the quarterback was still on the way to the ground, but was so like as the quarterback was on the way down, because like number 40 got him as a sack, D lineman. What do you expect? And so, but then like one of our like linebackers came through like the B gap on the other side and tackled on top of him. Is that a second tackle? I mean, I wasn't sure. If Maurice puts that in as a second tackle, then next time I'll know to put it in as a second tackle. However, to me, if the quarterback was already beyond like a point of no return and was basically getting sacked anyways, I don't really want to give someone the idea of initiating a tackle. But like if two guys got there roughly the same time, I'll do it at the same time. I know one of our corners like grabbed onto a guy and like stopped him, and then our outside linebacker came and careened over the top, and that's a double tackle because our corner had the guy stopped and the outside linebacker pushed him over. That's a double tackle. That's completely fine. So, you know, but there are other ones I was like, I'm not really sure. I couldn't even see the person's number. Anyways, so yeah. All right, so before I head down to the gym, I'm going to give a little biology thing. I'm cutting my cardio a little shorter. I'm not cutting it completely, but I've noticed a byproduct that I don't think is technically very healthy. Like having it happen once during a super long cardio session is fine. I'm not unhealthy, but when your sweat smells like ammonia, you wonder. I've worked in cow barns. I know what animal or what, livestock waste hay smells like, and I shouldn't have that smell coming out of my body. It's not a bad thing because it only happens when I exercise, but anyways, so what happens is I run out of blood sugar, and so the muscles are still working because I'm still doing cardio, and the heart's still working and the lungs still working. So what it does, it starts burning proteins. And the proteins, chemicals, blah, breaks it apart. You have excess ammonia, nitrogen floating around in your system, which turns into urea, and all that stuff, and your body tries to get rid of that. Well, your bladder only really absorbs things so fast. And so, because you're not going to go pee during this cardio session, so it can't necessarily flush that out. So it tries to do it as fast as it can, and the liver can't process it. So in sort of an emergency last resort, it starts just sweating it out. So what that's saying is it's a sign that I'm already burning through my sugar. And the sugar in my blood is what I'm kind of trying to get rid of. I want cardio to get my heart rate up there and do all that stuff. However, I don't want to impact any healing or future muscle growth when I start getting back to lifting and I start doing cardio and lifting at the same time. I will also don't want to be at the gym forever, so it'll be like 15 minutes of slightly more intense cardio. However, and so that's why I'm cutting it shorter, because hopefully today I will figure out if it is that. So I've been going too much cardio. God, there's such a thing. Yes, endurance athletes have this ammonia thing all the time, despite the fact that they drink, 5 liters of water a day and they eat nothing but sugar, but they do such intense, long workout, the body cannot keep up and it starts burning. That's why they have skinny little legs, but their muscles are really powerful for what they are in order to keep moving. I play football. I want to have power and lots of it when I need it. So I don't really want to decrease muscle and have all my protein be burned away. Plus, it smells bad in the gym. I mean, I don't mind BO a little bit, but when you start smelling like the inside of a barn, No. So yeah, that's that. Not gonna take the camera with me, it's awkward. So yeah, that's it for today. That's your little biology lesson. If your sweat ever smells like ammonia and it's like the first time, don't really worry about it, but keep an eye on it. There can be liver diseases that you've cropped up, but if you have done like a recent, and especially for older folks, like over 25, sometimes it'll happen that way. You just go more and longer cardio. This doesn't necessarily apply per se. It applies to the pool, but you don't have to worry about it because as the thing is, you sweat and the water washes it off. So while yes, you are putting ammoniated sweat into the pool water, which is chlorinated, which hopefully doesn't mix together and make a set, but you get what I mean? Anyways, yeah. So that's why swimming for longer periods can be a little bit more beneficial cosmetically, because that way you don't ridiculously stink on your way out. And I really want to get back to swimming, but shoulder. Kind of having the need to do this with both arms, kind of even if I'm crawling or I'm breaststroking. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I've talked enough about science today. Also, I have like therapy tomorrow, and I have to go get the chip cart filled for Joe, and this vlog is going on forever.